What is Python Poetry? Python Poetry is a build tool for Python projects. Why do we need another build tool for Python projects? Didn't we already had build tool for Python projects? Well, it does things more elegantly, and it's basically handling both the dependency installation, the build and the packaging of Python packages, and also the virtual environments. So it's a very convenient tool to use as a single point of the build, package, and virtual env instead of using separate tools. While in the past we had setup.py, requirement.txt, setup.cfg, manifest.in, and pip files, and more, with Poetry, we just have a single file, pyproject.toml. In this file, we have sections, and under these sections, we write our dependencies. And this file basically looks like Poetry because it has sections, because it has like phases of bulks of tasks, just like in Poetry. To install Poetry, we use pip install Poetry. Or we can just download the getpoetry.py. And generally, to create a new project, we just type poetry new and the new project name. You already see that Poetry does not handle only the dependencies, but we can tell it to create a new project and it would create a new project. And this is a theme that goes along Poetry, that it would handle multiple things in a single file, as we said, very conveniently. Next, we would get a project skeleton with the important file pyproject.toml. In this pyproject.toml, we'll have multiple sections in square brackets. The first section would be tool.poetry, where we give the project name, the project version, and description of the project. Then we'll have tool.poetry.dependencies that would give the dependencies for the actual project, and similar to Node.js, we would get also a section named tool.poetry.devDependencies with the dependencies that are required only for dev, such as PyTest. Next, instead of creating our own virtual environment, why don't we just let Poetry handle this? So we type poetry install, which would do the initial download of all the dependencies that we wrote in the Poetry file. When the Poetry finished installing all these files, it would write the specific packages and the exact versions of them into poetry.log file. When other people would use this log file, which means we want to commit it into our version control, they would get the exact logged version. So we end up with actually two files, pyproject.toml, and after doing install, poetry.log. When we edit the pyproject.toml and remove or add dependencies, then we type again poetry install in order to apply these adds or remove. We can actually do a manual, better specific thing. If we only add a package, we can use poetry add. So if you want to add a specific package, then poetry add from the command line and the name of the packages, and it would update the pyproject.toml and also the poetry log file. If we want to add a dev dependency, we would type poetry add -d and the package name, and again, it would update the files. To remove a package, then poetry remove the package name, or if it's a dev dependency, poetry remove -d the package. To sum up, in Poetry we have multiple command tools that we can use to install, to remove packages, to install dev dependencies, to download them, to install everything from scratch. We have the log file, and it would create a virtual env that we can then later use from our editor, be it IntelliJ or VS Code. It would create it for us, including all the dependencies. Poetry new project name would create a new Python project. Poetry init would initialize the pyproject.toml file interactively. Poetry install, we install all the packages that are inside the pyproject.toml file. Poetry add package name will add a package to the virtual environment. poetry add -d package name will add a dev package to the virtual environment, and poetry remove package name would remove a package from the virtual environment. Poetry remove -d package name would remove a dev package from the virtual environment, and poetry self::update would update the poetry to the latest stable version. To sum up, poetry takes a stance that it should handle both virtual environment, both command line for installing packages, and it would end up with only two files, pyproject.toml and poetry.log file.